You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave, and this is a Fistful Podcast from FFOPRadio.com. Back for another great episode. Let me introduce you to my co-host. Back on the show, and I got a sound drop for you, so I hope you can hear it. Back on the show, it is all the way from the Reno Sparks area, that is in via satellite. We have one Mr. Andrew Bergevin. You can hear it?
I mean, I heard some of it.
I don't know why it doesn't work for you.
Isn't there a thing that you have to press on your mixer?
Trust me.
I mean, like I said, I could hear some of it.
Yeah, well, trust me, you were very impressed by the sound.
Yeah.
In studio, of course. Krista's over there.
I'm over here.
So, Andy, I teased you a little bit before the
David,
recording.
I gotta stop you there.
So what?
I gotta stop you right there because I knew it was gonna be a hard day for comedy today.
What happened?
Because of like Ukraine and it's also Thursday. So
yeah.
Directly to my left, I have one Mr. Adam J. Hubbard, Esquire.
What?
Oh my God!
No goddamn way! We have one Mr. Adam J. Hubbard Esquire. Look at that
I've returned
shit.
from the dark web.
Oh my God! Have you been trading Bitcoin or what?
He sold me some shitcoin and it wasn't good.
Boy, oh boy, this really is like the old days. I don't have a here. That's for.
We could only hear the beginning of the soundtrack, but like.
So you can probably tell what the rest of it was. So boy, oh boy, guys, everybody's back on the show, and so here's the thing. The one thing that I was going to use as a springboard, I realized I've used a lot because when RJ was on the show, we talked about vampires, and then I realized the last time you were on the show, Andy, we talked the episode was named Drac Attack.
Yeah, we talked about Dracula extensively.
Yeah, so the thing is, I had another biological Dracula question.
So here we are
Can he
again.
bite with his penis? The answer is yes, but only if she's on her period.
Well, so here's the real one, and maybe you guys can put your heads together. You guys know a lot about vampires. So here's the thing: I realize vampires cannot cross running water, but they can go out on lakes, right?
I guess I've never seen a vampire movie where he goes out on like a party boat or something.
I mean, I feel like the running water thing isn't even that consistent.
Well, because Dracula in the book takes a ship from Transylvania to England. So I mean, how big does the running water also because the sea is all running water? I would imagine, right?
Maybe Bram Stoker was saying the sea is very stagnant.
Maybe he wasn't a sailor.
It's specifically water that's transitioning from a lake to the sea.
Okay,
yeah,
you cannot be, if it's not headed toward the sea, Draculas can walk over it.
Yeah, rivers, streams, creeks.
Or
Cricks.
So what if? Okay, here's my next question. Then, if we're gonna get that specific, what if it's just going from a mountain to a lake? No sea involved.
What about a mountain to a molehill?
That makes zero sense in context. That's not even the question I was going to ask. Here's the thing. So when sunlight hits a Dracula, it's basically fire, right? They go up in a big puff of flames and smoke. What would happen if a vampire ducked into a lake when the sun came up? Since they can't die, there's no problem with suffocating. Would the water keep them from turning to fire?
I think they would go up like a metal fire and just make their own oxygen.
Yeah, it's like phosphorus down there.
That's what I thought. It was going to be a sodium fire or something where it's so hot it synthesizes its own oxygen out of magic.
I've probably talked about it before. On the ship, they had classes of fire. You had Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. And so it was wood fires, electrical fires, grease fires, and then Delta fires are bad. Delta fires are metal fires.
Yeah.
And there's different measures to deal with all the fires, except for Delta. The protocol for dealing with the Delta fire is push it over the side of the ship.
Yeah, well, that's the thing because
Push
when
it off.
metal is, it's not even like fire as we know it. Like it's that's the thing about it. That's why I'm saying if we can get a vampire to go along with this and put him underwater, but that's the thing. I don't think that a vampire is dense enough to do a delta level fire. Right?
I don't know. Well, they can fly, so maybe their bones are hollow.
I mean, the delta fires come from airplanes.
Yeah, but they're made out of
It's
like
like
really
airplane engines.
dense alloys and stuff, right? Oh, maybe that's how vampires are immortal.
Yeah, vampirium.
Yeah, magnesium bones.
The hidden 126th element?
But going back to the water thing, like, aren't we like 80% water?
Yeah.
Does that mean like if I'm running, a vampire can't move over me?
We have to be running toward the sea.
Can
I have to be running with the intent of going to an ocean.
Yeah,
Can
if
I
you
point a hose towards the nearest ocean and then just...
that's a good point and an interesting question. We'd have to maybe talk to Anne Rice. Is she still alive?
No, she died recently.
Okay, so who's the next?
Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, so
Meyer.
the torch of
She knows.
vampire lore went from Bram Stoker to Anne Rice to now Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, go ask the sparkly vampire author if they can die underwater.
Does that old saying go? Torch a vampire, starve a Frankenstein.
There you go.
Because we all know that Frankensteins only eat vampires. Have you seen him eat in those movies? No.
Oh man,
It's too busy. Well, they couldn't show him eating vampires yet.
Oh,
they hadn't established the cinematic universe.
I thought it was because it was that was too graphic for the 40s.
No, yeah, that was the only thing that never made it. Like there was no rating whatsoever, but they said that a Frankenstein's monster eating a Dracula was too graphic.
It was all claymation, too.
The line has to be drawn somewhere, and it is here.
Ray Harryhausen worked for 30 years to make this.
Yeah, he started when he was -8 years old.
The first thing that popped out of the mother's womb was a clay Frankenstein.
That was
the
really
hell?
spooky.
Well, I guess it was her fault for putting the clay up there in the first place.
Yeah.
She
The
was-
kid needs something to play with while he's in there.
oh yeah, maybe Ray Harryhausen was just the aftermath of just a very intensive preemptive helicopter parenting. Like lots
You
of
will be an artist, Harry.
like clay and classical literature just constantly going up the old hatch.
He'll make great sculptures and definitely not cheap movie special effects.
Hey, it's half and half. You always got to when you aim high, sometimes your arc falls a little short of its intended.
Cheap was cruel.
Yeah, you just called Ray Harry. So, like, the Harryhausen heads are going to come after you.
They're getting so old nowadays, though. Like the youngest ones are my age, and even those ones aren't as hardcore about it as the old generation.
I think I can wait him out.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it's like I just lost my train of thought.
It'll be like going into the fallout shelter for the nuclear war, but I'm only going to have to wait like a few months.
Yeah, you can just wait like five months.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, that's all it is. It's a waiting game. Like revenge is nice, but if you wait it out, typically people die very quickly.
Revenge is nice, but have you considered not caring?
Yeah, revenge is nice, but checking out is even sweeter.
Checking out is a dish best served.
Yeah, we're hitting all the classic sayings today.
That's what I'm best at. This classic sayings and stumbling metaphors.
Well, David always has little snippets of wisdom. Here comes a David original wisdom. Go.
Oh, I thought you were going to cut to a clip. I got nothing.
Yeah, I've just been clipping out David's voice and playing it to myself while I do stuff.
Oh, that's where those microphones have been coming from in my house. I've been setting up these extra ones.
I had to get back at you for advertising me as some sort of nude Sasquatch.
Yeah, all the anti-sound drops.
All the yeah. Well, I was weirdly enough recently I was going through all of the old sound drops, and by virtue of the fact that this board simply refuses to play your voice for some reason, you are not on here.
Good.
I've been trying though.
If David ever goes like absolutely crazy and has to make like mannequins of people that he knows, he'll have sound drops for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be the most lifelike crazy person ever.
Yeah, it'll just be, and then it'll make commuting a breeze too, because I'll just pop one of your facsimiles in the car. fly down the highway. It'll be a little awkward on the bike, but worth it still.
The tandem bike.
Put my real doll's arms around your waist.
Yeah, I have them be. They're super accurate, so they're weight proportionate too. So it's very difficult moving these things around.
It's gonna have one of those like I don't even know what you would call the costume, where it's all the people like tied up alongside so they can all move the same way.
Yeah, like the Michael Jackson 5 guy in The Simpsons.
I don't know if there's a name for that.
I don't know. It's got to be its own class of costume, right?
Yeah, it's a gang. It's a gang costume.
Yeah, it's like you're the stick gang. You're all tied together at the elbows.
Give me a second. I'm going to go let out my stupid-ass dog because he won't stop fucking barking.
He's been
Okay.
really, indignant about this.
He likes to be treated a certain way.
He's forgotten about the podcast days of yore.
Where is he taking Gus? To the moon?
I brought him outside.
It's too cold outside.
If they have weather.
Well, I meant like to go to the bathroom, not like
Forever.
leave him in the corner.
No.
There's no bed for you here. Go on. Yeah. It's like we never left.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a show without like a prolonged whiz break or some sort of dog-based shenanigans.
Cold French fries came from the devil's anus.
No. This is going to be a whiz-free show.
We'll see about that. Anyway, guys, so here's the thing. I've been trying to scratch this itch, and no one's been able to do it appropriately for me. So it came up in the RJ show, and I want to bring it over with you guys, obviously, because you'll treat it with the right gravitas. But it's obviously the murder camera question versus that what was it, Life is Strange camera?
Yeah, the time travel camera.
Yeah.
Time travel camera.
Is this like a Instagram filter or something?
Yeah. You know, the Instagram filter where you go back in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's Doc Brown developed it in 1985.
It's highly radioactive. I do not recommend putting it up to your face.
Yeah, look out for the Libyans.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Anyway, so yeah, I assume you're familiar with Life is Strange, Adam or Andy.
I've never played it, but I've seen some of it played.
Okay, then spoiler alert, there's a camera in there that I assume messes with time somehow. RJ was not very specific.
Basically, what I think is you can go back in time only to a certain extent of time. I don't remember how long,
Like,
24
okay,
hours, something like that.
I'll establish it because we don't know. So let's say when you take a picture of something, if you look at that picture in the future, you can travel back to that moment in time and remake a decision.
Okay. I like that.
Or
Sort of a Ashton Kutcher butterfly effect.
yeah, kind of like that. Or the other camera is, I think I finally settled on the gradual Goosebump style murder camera, where let's say each of the the cursed film cassettes is like 8 exposures, and the first 7 are varying degrees of misfortune, where the 8th exposure kills the intended target.
Yeah. I'd like to pause here for a second to say that I recently flipped through one of those Say Cheese and Die books. Like, the kids fucking survive, and then their answer to getting rid of this camera is, I'm just gonna put it in the garbage. And then, like, the last chapter is the uncle coming in, like, look what I found in your garbage. It's great.
Cheese.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's all of them though, because wasn't the haunted mask the same way? It's like, oh, thank God, I finally I'm no longer in control of that mask. It's like, bye, and it's like essentially just set it outside on the stoop for garbage collection.
Yeah, and it says free mask. You make a little sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, free
it's
to
all
get home.
essentially the ending to Jumanji.
Yeah, but that's all kids media. You got to leave them dangling for a sequel, and if not only that, like, you could at very least craft your own bullshit thing in your head, like we all did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but kids media with whatever. Yeah, so there we go. The cameras. Obviously, we're very familiar with the Goosebumps camera, but the time travel camera. There's some. We've had 1 vote for the time travel camera, 1 vote for the murder camera. So I want to see where you guys land on this.
How are we voting exactly? Like, which one I would rather have?
Yeah. So I maybe I haven't worked that part out either. But yeah, it's basically a would you rather. Would you rather have a camera that, like, when you take a picture, You get to look at it and, you use your mind and somehow travel back in time to remake a decision around the time that photo was made. Or you've got the Goosebumps murder camera.
I don't know that I want a murder camera.
The murder camera can only be used for bad.
I know, but the time travel camera, I feel like, is worse still.
But here you go.
I see what you're saying, though. Like, the time travel camera has the potential to mess things up a lot more.
Not only that, but there's a hidden, baked-in monkey's paw fine print of the time traveling camera. Is every time you travel back in time, that's the current you is traveling back in time. So you bring your current age with you. So you're incrementally aging every time you go back in time. However long you look back at that photo.
So when you go back in time, you don't go back in time just to change the one thing and go back to present?
No.
Wait a sec. What if I take a picture right now, and then to make different decisions during this podcast recording, and then 10 years from now, I want to change something that I do right now. What if I take a picture 10 years from now, and I come back here, and then I look at the picture that took 10 years from now?
You can't bring items with you, number one. That'd be
Not
crazy.
Even close. It's Terminator rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You arrive nude in an alleyway.
Every time you have to go back, you have to make the decision nude. No. So, yeah, the photos have a half-life. They're, after a year, you can no longer travel back to when they were. They're just regs-ass photos again. 365 on the dot.
But think of the utility. What if I went to a new restaurant and I was like, I didn't really like that food, but I took a picture of the booth beforehand? So I could try something completely different.
I mean, I guess, but...
I feel like this restaurant you're going to has a niche audience, because that's small stakes, Andy.
Right, that is pretty... And not only that, but you're gonna look at the picture, you're gonna have to wait until the food you just ate is digested, so you're gonna burn, a few days on just going back to to the restaurant a couple of times?
The enchiladas are terrible. What if I wanted... if I'm getting enchiladas, they probably don't have steak. The Mexican steak.
Or alternatively, you take a picture before you eat the meal, before you order, and then at the end of the meal, you go back to the beginning, and then you can order everything on the menu without getting full or wasting money.
Or what if if you like the meal, you say, hey honey, let's come back here again.
Nah.
And that way you don't have to tack on extra time onto your life, and you can just come back and eat the fucking... Why would you misuse this superpower like that, Andy? Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't want to spend the money, David.
Spend the money? You're still... At the end of the day, you're still going to have to... you cannot get out of paying the check. It's just you'll have to... you're going to burn 6-8 hours in between at minimum... And all for what? Some spaghetti?
No.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah. I try everything on the menu, and then the very last time, I just walk out the restaurant because I've already had the experience.
Yeah,
I don't feel like eating.
Imagine everybody not privy to your time traveling, and as you're progressively aging, as you just eat a meal.
It's only a couple hours. I'm not wasting away like I just drank from the wrong grail.
It's going to be 8 hours in between meals. So let's say you go in okay, hey, it's lunchtime, it's noon. You say, let me take a picture of this fucking booth. And he's going to go, okay, sir, whatever you say, you're fucking crazy. Have a seat.
I'm an Instagrammer.
Right, so you eat the meal. You have to get up, pay, leave, wait till your meal is digested, and then you're hungry again. You look at that photo, then you're back to where you were then. So now, 6-8 hours have passed, and now you get to eat 2 meals for the price of one, and the expensive 8 hours of your existence.
It's not much of a life, David. I know, but
then here's the thing. Add it and repeat. Let's say you want to try 10 dishes. What's 10 times 8? Somewhere around 80 hours? When are you going to sleep?
Days of your life? Come on.
This is crazy, Andy. You're insane. Why don't you just murder people with the other camera?
Give in.
Murder!
Speaking of back to old times, the heater's on, so take a short break.
Oh my God! They were hitting all the classics.
Oh yeah. All of our favorite bits.
Yeah, I can't even edit these out. They're so integral to the lore of the show
just
now.
Wait till Alex gets home.
Wait till your father gets home.
Not my dad.
Not my father.
I mean, I guess we're taking a break.
I mean, you can still talk. You don't have to save your voice.
How loud and long is your heater?
How loud is the heater? Well, it's certainly making static on the timeline.
The problem is like the giant vent is right next to the computer.
I like my
streamers
vents
and shit on
right next to my computer, so the dust passes through both of them.
My computer needs extra heat.
That's good. You want some of every part of the house's dust to get directly into the computer.
Yeah.
That way there's even wear and tear.
Feeding straight into the tower.
Yeah. You don't want any chicken strips on that fan.
I get you some dust. I didn't get you any.
So I'm assuming both of these cameras are instant developed Polaroids?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Are they the tiny kind like we used to have when we were kids?
Not like tiny, like 90s extreme tiny. It's like your classic, what are they, 4x4 square?
Okay, yeah.
Pretty classic Polaroid stuff.
My mother got me one of those itty bitty Polaroids that would make like an inch by inch picture.
Worthless.
Oh yeah, I
But
had
after I was out of
shoebox.
film, she was like, "That shit's expensive. Fuck
Right?
off."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hobby that was like very high paywall.
I do want one of those new little Polaroids.
Little?
I mean, they call it like the Instax ones. Or
Oh, the
whatever.
Yeah.
Fujifilm Instax. Yeah, those are
They're
cute. I just got
haven't seen
some
those.
film for my old school, my cursed camera you saw in the Discord. Taking pictures of stuff, getting the hang of it. Ooh, it is. I remember it's not as bad as I remember, or not as bad as I was thinking it would be. Going back to like physical media, it's about as good as I remember. Not good. That's what I'm getting at. The clarity
do you have
not
to, do you
there.
have to suppress the urge to take the Polaroid and start shaking it?
Yeah, and not only that,
I did it.
yeah, Chris shook it for me. But the inability to do literally anything except for point, shoot, and then pray, and then for the next 18 minutes you're slowly disappointed because you realize that was the instant your son decided to shut his eyes.
I thought this is the instant your son decided to shit on the floor.
Yeah, classic crapping in the moment. Bam! Now it's immortalized in a Polaroid.
So for death camera,
Sure.
does it have to be somebody that I am taking a picture of in person, or can I like take a picture of somebody on TV?
Oh, like you mean like a Death Note style thing.
That's kind of what it sounds like, is a Death Note style thing.
Well, yeah, it's basically the Goosebumps camera. Yeah,
I don't think they ever went into this scenario.
Well, the thing is, like, the curse does not. This isn't like a ring style. Doesn't travel through electronic means. You have to be. It's everything that you can affect has to happen in camera, as it were.
I mean, the ring does travel through electronic means, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this doesn't. You have to. If
okay.
you have to be IRL. It is a.
What if it was
Analog.
live television?
Analog medium. Still no. There's something loses its like. There's no soul behind an electronic image. The curse acts upon the soul, which it needs to have, an imprintation of on the film.
But what if I catch like a how close do I have to be? Can I be like, can the person be a speck on the distance and then?
I mean, like within, let's say 300 yards, let's say a football field, enough so that they need to be like the center of the photograph. Like they have to be intended, but not necessarily the mainstay. Cause like, let's say you're hoping for something big and you see someone on the other side of a football field and then you take the picture and there's a nice big plane crash or something. Yeah. Then you want a little room to stretch out.
Do they have to be looking at the camera?
Oh yeah, I think in the show they had to be. Yeah, that's a caveat. They had to be looking down the barrel of the lens.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to like oh yeah, easy laser pointer, just like a telescope and a laser pointer. Look over here, bitch! Like on the other side of the football field. Still not a bad way to kill someone. A little more obvious though.
I still feel like death camera only used for bad.
You could use it for good. You could be like an altruistic assassin.
You could be a vigilante that takes pictures of criminals before they get the shit kicked out of them.
True. And the thing is, it's only the 8th exposure that kills people. If you're good at counting,
I
you
forgot
can
about that rule.
you can pop that cartridge out and save them up, and maybe you want to do a what is the Valentine's Day massacre of Polaroids?
Yeah. Everybody say cheese.
They just pop. They're like, oh, we'll take a nice picture in this garage.
Can I get multiple people with the same exposure?
That's up to the camera. The curse, you can point it at someone hoping, But that's what came up in the last episode, is if you are caught in a reflection in the image, you are also fair game. So you got to watch out. You don't know who the curse is going to latch onto.
I mean, I think I have to go with the time travel camera. Like,
yeah, to save money on all that food.
Well, I mean, it's invariably going to lead to the dark future, but like, you could make so much more money off it. Not just with the food savings, but like horse betting and stuff, or what have you.
Well, horse betting is such an old timey. Like, why is it the first time?
That's my only references. It's from 30 years ago.
I feel like every time we go over getting a superpower or a supernatural MacGuffin, you're like, time to bet on the horses, Daddy.
I'm going back in time, David.
Those ponies. Papa needs a new pair of shoes, and you're gonna be like there with your straw derby and shit. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go low stakes, then yeah, the horses indeed. But I mean, that's the thing. They both have infinite potential because one is an essentially untraceable inconvenience and then murder machine. And the other
until somebody finds your stack of pictures with people in plane crashes.
Well, if that doesn't, just because there's a picture showing something that happened doesn't mean that, and plus you'd burn them, obviously. Like, what are you, a trophy keeper? Learn from other serial killers. Don't keep trophies.
You burn them and watch the souls leak out of it.
Yeah, they go, beware. They fly away.
Watch out for the fumes.
You're not supposed to breathe this.
Yeah, even though I killed them, they're still looking out for me, That's how good a
They
murderer.
obviously took the moral high road.
Yeah, I'm a great murderer. They're still looking out for number one. I mean, I guess
murderer.
I kind of figured you guys would go the opposite of what I'd go, because I would go murder camera 100%, because it just seems like I'm not. That's the thing too. I'm not forcing the use of like how often onto anybody. You're just sort of projecting like, yeah, you just be running around like a madman murdering people. I would probably throw it up into a closet and wait for the one day when I could pull the Spider-Man great power and great responsibility bullshit. But you guys,
the problem with the time travel camera is you don't know when that pivotal moment is going to be.
It's true.
Right,
So you have to take a picture every time you walk into a new room.
Yeah, that's the dichotomy of the situation is like when you have the time travel camera, you literally have to carry it around everywhere and snap pictures all the time because here's another thing that no one asked, but I'm going to tell you now. The latest picture is the only active one. You can't keep a catalog.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like that was implied, but you'd have to be going around being like, I think this is pivotal. I think this is pivotal. I think this is pivotal. So you're just blowing through your life. And so you're wasting your life looking for moments to redo. When the murder camera is like just owning a gun. You don't have to kill people with it. But the time travel camera is so alluring that, of course, it'll make you use it and you'll be a dust when the rest of us are like in our mid-40s.
I think if I got the time travel camera, you could be a really kick-ass doctor.
What?
You take a picture, like at the beginning of a patient's stay. You don't do anything. Let them die. let the autopsy figure out how they died, and then you use the picture to cure them.
Ooh, that's some life-saving stuff.
But then you would have to live through a year's worth of malpractice and bullshit at a time for each patient?
Not if we poison them right away.
Yeah. The consequence is always poison.
Hey, good news. I didn't poison you this time,
dies.
so you survived. What kind of shit is this?
I poisoned you, and I've traveled back in time to make sure I don't poison you again.
Oh, my God.
Can you...
I've stopped the murderer.
Is this choice that you have? Is it like... You know how in Pokemon where you have those 3 Pokeballs and you get to choose one?
Yeah.
Is this one of those times where you have both of them sitting next to each other and you pick up the time travel camera? You can take a picture of the murder camera and go back.
No, you can't use one on the other.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you meant that some dipshit kid is going to shove you away and be like, I'm having the murder camera now.
Yeah.
You grab the murder camera, you take a picture of the gypsy that's selling it to you, and then you grab both cameras.
No, what happens is the second your hand touches one of the cameras, the gypsy's dickhead nephew bursts in, pushes you out of the way, and immediately grabs the other one. And then he helicopters you on the way out.
No, I take a picture of him first.
I hate that guy.
But you're in the gypsies, what you call it? The covered wagon. You can't use the cameras in there. It's like holy ground. Plus, the batteries don't work in there. There's some sort of force field from gypsy magic.
Okay.
So
That makes a lot of sense.
David's kind of selling me on this murder camera where it's like I take the 7 pictures, and those are just like some misfortunes, right?
yeah, it's very like obviously there's 7 degrees of like the first one is obviously going to be less severe than the 7th, but you're still going to make it out alive.
But now we do have the revenge camera because like the first 7 are like just petty little revenges where
Right.
like that guy cut in front of me at the grocery store.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy, look over here.
that's the thing. You for the money, and it's again both of these are free. But for me, the murder camera is like the easiest way to go because let's say. Obviously, because it's going to be tantalizing. I'm going to grant you a few murders because you're going to want to Dexter somebody. You're going to want to like go somewhere and be like, gotcha, you were a bad guy. And I'll grant you a few, righteous kills. But, it's going to do a lot less damage unless you get careless, obviously. This is within the reason. Okay, but the time travel camera only serves to do you harm, either giving you extra age as everybody else gets to stay where they are and you get to relive all your mistakes and remember them.
As opposed to the murder camera, which only serves to do other people harm.
Right. So
you
you look
remember
at
that
Unless
too.
there's a mirror in the room.
you're looking at for number 1. Oh yeah, look out for mirrors. Anything reflective.
Yeah, anything reflective, like a pan.
I'm going to grab the time
Your phone.
travel camera and I'm going to make like a house-style TV show. But every episode, I'm like 1 year older.
1 year wiser.
Couldn't you just make a house-style TV show with a house-style writing room, not necessarily burning your life per episode a year?
This is cheaper.
You don't have to pay anybody.
But you're still having to. Well, that's the thing. It's all a wash in the end because I'm like, you still have to pay for everything for the year you're alive. But then you go back to 0. You just burn a year of your life and your memory. Like you're going to be senile in no time.
Yep.
You're burning a year of your life for one little incident.
That saved 365 people, 1 for every day of the year.
Yep.
And then I died of old age.
But it would take you 365 years. Are you fucking kidding me? You'd be dead.
Hopefully he spent some of that time researching medicines that can help him age gracefully.
You would be dead in like 3 months real time. Your family would watch you waste away like Jack, and they go, I don't know why Adam, like he got some sort of like crazy progeria, and in 3 months he turned to 90 and then turned to dust.
And they'll say, the candle that burns twice as bright, and they'll shake their heads.
Yep.
Yeah, he burned so bright he turned to dust.
What about like if I was a smart person, I could use that camera to like you do a whole year of your life, right? You learn all sorts of stuff. Like I'm going to cure cancer. You learn all this stuff.
Yeah, that only
you
takes
go back.
a year.
You still have your knowledge. You keep on building on it.
But see, the last person that I cure, I go back the one last time. I quickly jot down like it's lupus, and then all they find is a note that says lupus and like the dust in the shape of a man in the chair.
I mean, I guess you guys are like looking to prolong life by wasting yours. Meanwhile, death is coming for us all, and that's why the murder camera is perfect.
Death is David in this scenario.
The person you're going to kill is going to die eventually anyway, and if you are the righteous type of murderer, as I assure you both are, they're going to deserve it anyway.
Do you get unlimited murders?
Well, it's every 8th exposure of the camera, essentially.
Okay.
Every 8th exposure of yourself.
Do you have unlimited film?
Yeah, I mean it's a cursed camera. Like like Walmart's not going to carry something cursed by a gypsy. It's not like kosher meals.
How do
like
you
not
get
gonna...
Oh no, that's IL-12.
How do you get the film after your 8th one and you're out?
The classic horror movie rules, like when you're asleep at night, the door pops open, the old cartridge flies out your window, and a new one comes in.
With a note that says, I know you killed someone.
No, there's not a note. It just
No,
it's,
here's what you do: is
like
after your 8th
Santa.
one, the person dies. You say, "I can't do this anymore," and you throw it in the trash. Giggle to yourself because you know you're going to wake up with it on your nightstand,
oh yeah, that's true.
fully stocked and ready to go.
But that's the thing. What happens, like IRL, when those kids throw the fucking camera away is everything I just described. Like the cartridge comes out, the new one comes in, except for while that's all happening, it's also on its way back to your fucking room. So I'm just saying cut out the middleman. After you kill your person, get the fuck over it and wake up to a fresh cartridge and get back to 7 more shenanigans.
And one murder.
And
7 shenanigans and a murder.
What, I forget. What did the first 7 pictures do?
Progressively worse
Just
misfortunes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like maybe you twist an ankle or there's a flat tire or like your phone, like maybe your phone has a lithium-ion battery that explodes and horribly burns your thigh. Something like that.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but you survive. Then the 8th one comes around and you go, aha.
Time to kill.
Time to kill. And you know that it's time to start swiping some black makeup under your eyes and finding someone totally deserving, mind you. Totally deserving. That needs to die in a hilarious way that you'll have a picture of that you need to burn.
Do not cherish this memory.
I mean,
David told me I can't have a shoebox full of murder
no,
pictures.
look at it, enjoy it for what it is as the piece of art, and then the fact that you'll be the only one to really enjoy and experience it, and then fucking bick that thing.
I feel
Take a
like they
picture with
should
your
just
mind.
self-destruct themselves after the event happens.
No, that's not how curses work. Curses work to fuck everyone who uses them over. That's why it's looking for your reflection. It's
Yeah, but we're too
producing
smart.
evidence.
We'll get around it.
Yeah. The curse is crafty like a cat. That's why most curses are called mittens.
You gotta murder a cat and then put a button in an old woman's grave.
Yeah. You put a button in a grave, you murder a cat, and then you also have to marry a toad, I think,
Yep.
on a Wednesday.
Which is that's only legal in some states.
Yeah, because then it's like 6 to 8
Louisiana.
weeks for the licensing.
Andy, you hang around more kids' books than I do these days.
Yeah.
Are they like remaking Goosebumps books to be more in line with like modern technology?
Oh, they're not remaking Goosebumps books. They're still printing the same ones.
like,
Yeah, I don't think they
but
need
Say Cheese and
updating.
Die should have like a phone camera now, right?
You would think so, but no.
Well, no, because you need something. That's the crux of that story. That's the beauty of this question, Adam, is that you need something to instantly produce you a physical piece of media to predict you a future. If you take a picture on a smartphone and it's just something on a screen that shows the future, then you go boop delete.
I knew that would set David off in some fashion.
How dare you?
No, like the latest children's horror books I've read are. There's one where the lady that I had your wife read, where the devil's turning kids into scarecrows.
What?
Yeah,
Is that our all time?
it's about a girl who she's new in town, of course,
Oh no, the new
Nobody
girl.
understands her.
and they're going on a field trip to a farm. But it turns out that the farmer had sold his soul to the devil
Oh no, for a
to
fiddle?
make sure that his family would keep the farm, and now the devil turns children into scarecrows.
Like, here's the thing. I get, given when you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, any port in a storm, but like 9 months down the road and you realize you sold your eternal and immortal soul into, a flaming horror for all of eternity for essentially 9 acres? Like,
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
that
And a
sting
20%
little?
increase on government subsidies.
and
That's
corn.
true. And corn.
Corn.
Yeah, so you get to be like, oh, thank God, now I get to keep this for the rest of my natural
I get
life.
to toil away on this farm for the rest of my life and then go to hell.
Thank you, Satan.
Yeah, you really are the winning team. Crime does pay.
Hey, but this farmer's making me that old scratch, right?
Why isn't God offering things like this? Like, if the devil gets carte blanche to offer people things for their soul, why is Jesus not doing the same thing? Like, out there with a clipboard and a fucking baseball cap, scouting people for their souls for good, preemptively.
That seems like it should be right up his alley, like working the land for
Right?
making food for people.
Say, hey, guess what? Say
God
you're
is up there giggling.
Yeah, like, why do we never see, obviously because it'd be boring as fuck, but why don't we see some poor farmer who's like, oh, down on his luck and his hat is all fucked up and shit, and he prays and he goes, please, Jesus, help. And Jesus goes, yeah, of course I'll save your farm if I get to keep your soul up in heaven after you die. And then the farmer's like, so what's the downside?
Well, except the downside is that Jesus says, I'll also need 10 children's souls right now.
Yep.
So how is that going to work?
He'll have to kill kids so they go to heaven.
All kids go to heaven.
Wait, so Jesus would want you to kill 10 children to save a
They're
farm?
going to heaven, David.
Yeah, they're going up there.
They get to go to heaven.
This is actually the devil in disguise, right? Like, it's actually the devil in a Jesus costume.
It might be. You can never really be sure.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
it was a red Jesus. So.
yeah, I feel like if somebody popped up let's say for shits and giggles, out of smoke, and I just see them walk up out of like an alleyway. So boom, it's legitimate, and I feel like it's legit. And they go, hey, guess what? I can do whatever you want, and I'll take your soul up to heaven, but you need to kill 10 children. I'd be like, what?
I thought that Jesus with the goatee was suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, I
maybe
love
he was just getting with the times.
I love pasta too, but a fork that big? I
thought he was another farmer with a pitchfork.
Yeah.
It just seems like, yeah, like a redneck. I just assumed it's spread. But that's the thing. Like, why is it that, everybody big ups like, oh, the devil has so much power. Meanwhile, he's like doing what? He's like shooting people off his fence like BBs, shooting tin cans off a fence. Like, he has to pick one at a time. Like, he has to like play a fiddle for some dudes. Some people will do it for a Formula One race car. Like, why isn't he like actively like the military does? Like, set up a kiosk in a mall or a strip mall or something. Yeah.
Anything you want, one soul.
And to be real, like most people are so like short-sighted. He could probably get away with like a $50 or under price tag for most people.
He'd make a killing, I'm sure.
I'm saying.
Yuck.
And then Jesus up there on his cloud of desk made of clouds and shit, watching Working Girl with his fucking sandals up on his desk, and then the devil's pounding the pavement, working one man at a time.
Doing the work.
He probably deserves this more than Jesus does.
I'm saying, like, Jesus hasn't done shit since he died. To my understanding, and to most Christians tell me.
He talked to 3 people and then left.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. The devil is on his grind every day, I hear.
Well, yeah. And you have to be so talented to be the devil, too. Playing a fiddle.
Yeah, making video games and movies and playing a fiddle. And I somehow working with mortgage companies, because I assume he had to go through like the Bank of America to work out their loan arrangement. Like, 'cause that's the thing. In all popular culture, when the devil shows up, he's a businessman. So imagine the devil popping into like William Fichtner's body or whoever, and like sitting in a bank politely in the waiting room, like waving away cups of coffee from like bank members and staff and shit, and like signing papers and like doing the whole thing where he pulls a pen out of thin air that comes out of fire, and they're like, "Oh, is that you, a magician?" He's like, "Hey, I'm the fucking devil." Hey, stuff like that.
Sounds like a really cool boss.
Yeah, I know. But that's the thing about him. That's why the devil is so cool. Is because he is a hands-on kind of dude.
He got me.
He doesn't micromanage.
He says, you know what? If something's got to be done, I'm going to do it right myself. You see all the people that Jesus is farming his work out to? They're all a bunch of numbnuts.
Devil's real salt of the earth.
Yeah, the devil. He likes to put on one overall at a time.
So remember, everybody, hail Satan.
Yeah, that's why I like. He was in that with Lucifer, where he's a bartender. He likes to just do fun stuff. Right? The devil seems like a fun guy.
And his whole origin story is sad, too. He's like, my dad doesn't love me enough, but he loves all these adopted kids that he made.
Yeah, he just acted out, and now he has to spend the rest of eternity chewing on 3 dudes in the middle of a frozen wasteland. Pumping those big-ass wings.
Dudes? You think they replace those dudes?
I don't know,
periodically?
Man. I doubt it. At the very least, Judas never leaves, right? Like, if your whole thing is Jesus being killed, Judas never leaves the middle mouth of Satan.
But I feel like Judas was pivotal to this whole thing that they had to have happen.
Right, and that's why he is constantly chewed. He is the linchpin from which all this comes.
That sucks too, Jesus. You're like, oh, I need this Judas guy with me so he can kill me, but I'm going to send him to be chewed on the devil. Hey,
the Christian religion isn't exactly fair.
Careful, Andy. Don't poke holes in this.
Don't shake my religion, because I really feel strongly that the devil is at the center of the earth, and that is no hyperbole.
Yeah, we just got on board with the devil. Don't shake all this now.
Yeah, he's the greatest boss in the world. And then you start bad-mouthing him. What a dick.
Why don't you just shit yourself if the doorbell rang and there's just a guy in a business suit standing out there?
I would have to accept his offer, I guess.
Oh, what if it was, oh, God damn it, who played Skeletor in Masters of the Universe? Frank Langella. What if it was Frank Langella holding a box? Right? From, like, the box?
I'll take it.
Yeah, free box.
Oh, it's a horror. Anyway, Krista, do we have news?
Yeah.
We got everybody on board. Let's listen, and hopefully you guys can hear this. But after I stop talking, we'll hear the theme, and then I'll start talking again. So, news. All right, Krista, what is in the news?
So I'm going to preface this by thanking Kayla, RJ, Joe, and Andy for sending me
on the news team.
I did send news.
What? You're on the news team?
Hey, what the? That's spoiler alerts.
A mother changes her name to Marie Unicorn Sparkles after realizing her old name didn't spark joy.
God damn it. So, number one, why do we have to point out that she's a mother?
It's just the title of the article.
Why not say woman?
It's from the UK, so maybe that's why.
I see, but I don't understand that a lot. It's like mother of 3 steals from store. Like, I didn't need most of that information.
Yeah, why drag the children into this? Like, if my mom decided to be crazy, like, I wouldn't want to be tagged in that post.
Marie Unicorn Sparkles, first name Marie Unicorn, last name Sparkles.
Who's like John Micklethor,
whose last name was previously Naisbitt. Was watching was watching Marie Kondo's Netflix show, whatever.
I'm a fucking idiot by Marie Kondo.
About the magic.
No, Marie Kondo's show is great. She basically says, "Hi." Her whole thing about cleaning up is weird though. It's like, go throughout your house, and if you look at stuff, you're like, I haven't touched it for a while. Just throw it the fuck out.
Well, even like paintings on the wall, I hardly ever touch those.
Are they? You have to touch things. You go, does this give me joy? And if it doesn't, fuck off.
Yeah, you better put your fingerprints on everything.
I gotta start running around touching all my stuff.
But it's an interesting show. She basically visits hoarders and is like, you guys need to throw this shit out.
Oh, okay.
Well, that makes more sense.
She's like the queeness of cleanness. Since the queen of clean is already was it trademarked?
Struggling with depression, she decided to give her life a huge overhaul.
She decided to change her name to the quainess of clayness.
Starting with her.
I know I always make the best decisions when I'm struggling with depression.
Yeah. She traded in her straight black hair for unicorn bright dyed locks and ditched her sensible outfits for a more out there style. Here's
the thing, man. Whatever change of life you want to do it. My only precaution is this. Oh God, because they're showing me a picture. The upkeep of the things that you do eventually settle to the amount of work you put in day to day right now. So no matter how wild a change you throw into your life, if they can't, like if those standards and those new morals can't settle into daily scrutiny, like that rainbow haircut that Krista just showed me is going to be hell to keep looking good.
I have got her Twitter account.
Your whole new life strategy is just keeping up that look now.
Yep. The mom of 2 has long loved unicorns. So
Quit bringing up the kids. This is not their fault.
She used them as inspiration for her new look. As a medical secretary, she works in a doctor's office.
Everybody's letting their freak flag fly, man. I guess there's no
You have tattoos and shit now, so I guess it doesn't. Yeah. As a medical secretary, started to feel more her. People started commenting that she even looked like a unicorn, convincing her to take the plunge and fill in deed poll forms to change her name.
Do you think that's a nice way of saying, like, you're a bright horse face?
You got a horse face.
You look like Sarah Jessica Parker. Oh, thank you. Wait, what? That was like saying
my husband could also murder a bunch of people in a farmer's market.
You have the tits of a harpy. Great. What?
Her husband asked her jokingly if she was having a midlife crisis.
And then she started crying and locked herself in a closet.
But fully supported her and told her to do whatever makes you happy. If I ever said to you, if I was like, David, I want to change my name and become a unicorn, would you be like, all right?
I would have no choice, but I would definitely talk shit about you nonstop to everyone and anyone I could.
This is my wife, the unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I get that everybody wants to have their specific flavor, and some people's flavors are very bright. But
like a unicorn.
You really have to keep in mind that most people aren't going to want to be as high energy and goofball shit all the fucking time. So, like, I get the energy, right? I get the idea, but let's be real.
Oh my god!
I just feel like it would be hard to not want to change nurses at that point,
right? If you come in and someone is off the chain like that, but then you're gonna see like the ice cream cake slowly melt on the counter, essentially.
Wait, so like. Her name is Marie Sparkle Unicorn, right?
Marie Unicorn Sparkles.
Marie Unicorn Sparkles.
Yes,
and you said
Sparkles is
her
her last
first name
name.
is Marie Unicorn?
Correct. Last name Sparkles. Which means she doesn't have the same last name as her children anymore because she changed it.
Sorry, kids. If I go on the lam, I don't want to be associated with you.
Like parent-teacher conferences. Go to school. Hi, I'm Marie Sparkles. Marie Unicorn Sparkles. I'm Eloise's mom.
What? But does she have to wear like a name tag in the doctor's office?
There's a picture of her like license, her name tag for work, and her debit card that all have Marie Unicorn Sparkles.
What a
on
huge pain in the ass she made of
She posted her
herself.
debit card.
Can you imagine like HR being like, you did what?
Like the onus you put on others simply so you can stand out as cute and unique. Like everybody, like I can't, like the amount of distance that she must have got in eye rolls could be measured in miles. Like, holy fuck, everybody, like, because imagine she having to go through every form and then everybody now she meets, and then, you know, even if they don't say it, or not say it obviously, but even if they don't express it physically in the moment, as soon as their back is turned, their eyes are gonna like spin so hard we might see a bunch of cornea snappings around this woman.
You can almost hear the torque being generated.
Every person in the UK has gone blind.
Gird your eyes, UK. Marie Sparkle Unicorn is on the case.
That's pretty much it for her.
Really? Well, what else could you say? She's a mother of two. I know that.
Yeah.
That's really important.
And she's married.
That's what really made it hit home for me.
I'm a mother.
Husband of one, me. I mean, wife of one.
Man quote, abducted by aliens.
Quote?
Man quote.
Oh no, it's man quote.
Abducted by aliens 50 years ago, claims he warned the world about COVID and World War III.
You know, I saw this and I didn't read it because I saw his picture.
P.S. Butt still hurts.
What's wrong with this picture?
He looks like the sort of person to be like, aliens came and got me, and he did say like, in the thing, like in just like lead up, it was like, and he did say he was probed.
Oh,
Does he look like modern day Randy Quaid?
A little bit.
that's how I picture all of the alien abductees.
It's hard for me to see his face because the stupid logo of the...
Well, give us the article.
Oh, Calvin Parker, age 58, claimed that as a 19-year-old, he was abducted by aliens who had lobster-like claws, probed him, and showed him visions of the future where he foresaw a plague in World War III.
I thought he was going to have a lobster-like dinner.
He was
surfing like turf on a spaceship, right?
Yeah. Now he's 68. What?
Still enjoying lobster to this day.
Oh, they don't know how to type, apparently. He's either 58 or 68. He's a fisherman in Pascagoula, Mississippi. When they claim... What? He lives with his friend named Charlie when they claimed that a UFO landed nearby. A 19-year-old at the time claimed that they were grabbed by the strange creatures which had lobster-like claws and carrot-like noses and ears.
Wait, were these Frosty the Snowmen cosplaying as lobsters?
Yes.
There was probably snowman wearing oven mitts.
We'll see who's a jolly happy soul after this shit.
So did the probing give him visions, or did they probe him and then like put on a slideshow?
The probing's just for fun.
Yeah, the probe was just
necessary.
The probe was a canal for vision suppositories.
You get the visions more clearly through your rectum.
Yeah, and they like they're pill form because it's the future.
Rectum, hardly knew him.
Good one.
He said, there is a plague going on now. Of course, there's always been some kind of plague since the beginning of time, but from what I saw...
It's a constant lull of a plague just humming in the back of humanity.
But from
those
what
Ebola
I saw...
outbreaks didn't count.
This one gets even worse. It was caused by mankind, which is very bad because God is going to teach us a lesson and stay out of it before he steps back in. Mankind has lost faith and not willing to help others.
Well, let's ask the devil. He seems like he could grant a lot of wishes in this case.
Well, yeah, hey, if I came up to the devil right now, it's like, I'll give you my soul, get rid of COVID.
Yeah, but then you go to heaven for getting rid of the disease from everyone.
Yep, it's a classic.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I wonder if there's probably something in the fine print for a devil soul contract where like you cannot benefit someone else more than you would get out of it, and or like. Because, like, one soul is not worth all of the possible. Because, like, let's be real. Not everyone dying of COVID is a saint. And so the devil's just racking shit up naturally.
I'm sure he fell for that trick once before he put that fine print in
with
there.
the Black Death.
Yeah, the one guy who was like, Satan, please, I'll give you my soul for the Black Death. And he's like, okay. He was really bad at making deals back then.
It's really a bumpkin back then.
Hey, y'all, I'll trade your soul for the Black Death being vanquished. Oh, no.
Then he went and got himself an education.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, now he's a lawyer, last time I heard.
Pulled the wool over my eyes.
One of the South. Yeah. So South, it was before the South. That's how Southern the devil is.
The plague will kill millions, cause food shortages. People will fight and steal other people's things just to survive.
Hey, wait a
Why
minute.
are you saying it after the fact?
There'll be toilet paper shortages.
He also claimed that his second vision was of a coming World War III. He said, then there's going to be a great war that one side blames the other. Isn't that usually
But that's every war, bitch. Like
That's never happened before.
Fucking get in line with Harold Camping and every other crackpot who says the doomsday is every other week.
His vision shows that people's skin melt off their body.
You mean that was in Terminator 2?
Yeah,
he watched Terminator 2 is what he's saying. It was a good movie. Nice. This is a great review.
He said that the aliens they looked like James Cameron with carrot noses and lobster claws.
They all had Austrian accents, and one looked like Robert Patrick.
Yeah, I was watching T2 Judgment Day with my buddy when the aliens landed.
Yeah, I was eating some day-old lobsters, crawfish, sorry.
I had an allergic reaction when I woke up. There was a carrot sticking out of my ass, so I assumed.
Aliens. It was aliens.
That guy was crazy. So I have two articles for Hank the Tank. Hank the Tank is a 500-pound bear. Has broken into two more California
it's not a two
homes. So there's two articles. One article talks about how this bear has broken into homes in Canada or in California. The second article is the police begging the public to stop calling about the bear breaking into homes.
You know, if it were a white bear, no one would care, right?
So this is only like an hour away from us, and this bear is a unit.
I think they already removed him, didn't they?
The article I sent was from today, I think. They've tried tasing him. They've tried tranquilizing him. It's not working.
He's 500 pounds. What do you do? Okay, but this is an interesting thing. Now we've got a real-life case of a huge animal. So this makes King Kong even less believable as a property. Like, humans have trouble putting down a 500-pound bear. And how big is King Kong? Hundreds of thousands of pounds, possibly. I'm very ignorant. But
at least as much as a sedan.
At least he's honest about it, I guess.
He weighs as much as 300,000 elephants, as far as I know. And he's as tall as 40 football fields. So how are, we can't put down a bear? And that's like something like you can see from a car and not get killed by.
So he's broken into at least 28 homes.
He stole some stereos.
Yeah, selling them on the side of the road.
Tank took
Got these speakers real good.
He's got a backwards cap and a fake mustache.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife stated this bear is extremely food habituated and has used its immense size and strength to break in and through front doors and garage doors.
No. Just let Hank have your food.
Stop leaving out picnic baskets.
Yeah, this is not a Harry and the Henderson situation. It will not end in a family-friendly situation. Stay away.
He has lost its fear of people and has associated people with access to food.
Well, yeah. Once you're like bigger than like the next biggest prey animal times 5, yeah, you probably stop caring. Like
He's bigger than Jesus.
Yeah, the bear that's bigger than Jesus. He's got more followers too at this point, right? The news is
probably
really spread the word.
Take that, Jesus. You don't even have like 2 followers on Twitter.
Well, he doesn't tweet much anymore.
The agency said it was searching for a solution, including relocating or the last option of euthanizing him, but that caused a huge public outroar.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. It's like we can't look into nature and like, you know, there are going to be aberrations like this. It would be as if we were worried about, I don't know, what kills frogs. Like something small,
Man.
like it's like being scared of a sparrow. That bear has little to nothing to fear until an actual tank, his namesake, rolls up in front of him. Because I'm sure like a Jeep or whatever, dude with a pellet gun, which is, you know, it could be a 308, but it's going to bounce off this bear and he's going to be like,
Yeah, these people are like, save Hank. Hank the Tank is such a gentle bear to humans. They
just let him kill
seriously
somebody.
cannot capture and kill him. He's an icon now.
Fuck that. This bear is big enough to just lean on your door and take it down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess humans are more important than other animals, and that's why everything else that is an inconvenience should be killed.
Hey, Hank the Tank.
Especially when they're
I have
big.
that camera now. Just you watch me.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it'll work out. Hey, Hank,
If you're
can I get a
listening-
few questions for the paper?
Somebody said that they have snacks that Hank can go live with them. So,
Okay.
I mean, Hank.
Yeah, you
I'm
are
sure
the snack.
There's gonna be a bunch of numbnuts who are like, "Let me live with Hank," and then we're gonna see like Werner Herzog is gonna have to listen to another death recording.
You know, every time somebody's killed by bears, Werner Herzog has to listen to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a miserable life he leads now.
A witch kissed him, and now he's cursed.
Yeah, he buried the wrong button, and now he's got to listen, and it's always on cassette, so it's always grainy and crackly and poppy, and it's always like, and then he's got to look the surviving relative in the eye and say, never listen to this.
The bears, they're omnipresent.
They haunt me in my dreams, and when I am awake.
I don't sleep. I only sit next to the baby Yoda and weep.
Nah, he sits next to the baby Yoda.
He was in that show.
I know, which is crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, I guess that's crazy. But that's the thing. Maybe that's another nail in Bigfoot's coffin, too, because I bet he would love to get himself, at the very least, some beef jerky if popular culture has led me down the right path.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Bigfoot has to know that there's spicy Cheetos in some of those houses.
Yeah. Have you seen that commercial where all the animals are beatboxing after eating those delicious snacks? I mean, you must.
I was indifferent to it.
I was too. But then after a little bit of time, you know, I was like, you know what? I'm turned around on this. If all these chemicals can make these animals learn music, they must be doing something good for us.
Well, at this point, the bear's probably just like baiting them out with. He wants to get shot by the Tranks now, just to take the edge off the grind.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe he's just looking for a buzz.
That's the only thing that gets me off anymore.
He's the smartest bear in the world, where he's now using humans to get him addicted to drugs.
Full of tranquilizer darts with a huge boner.
God.
Do you think it makes him more
Terrifying.
hungry?
Oh yeah, he
Got
gets
the
the munchies. Yeah. Yeah,
He's got to go break into another house.
they shoot him with a giant doobie dart.
This will slow him down. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no.
And they go, hey man, get the. And then there's a helicopter that comes in with a huge pallet of honeycombs, the cereal. Mm-hmm. It's flown by Andre the Giant's
Then he
ghost.
turns into a smaller monster once he eats them, and we can capture him then.
Yeah, then it's easy to catch the Tasmanian devil. It's all about turning.
I don't think any Looney Tune has ever had a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's the same. What all it boils down to is a stick a stick holding up a box with a string tied to it, and doink, you get him.
Yeah. Why mess with the classic?
Yeah, pull your head out of your ass wherever Hank the Tank
Tahoe?
is.
California.
Yeah, Tahoe. Get a big box and a stick. You know,
Put a picnic basket under it.
Yeah, picnic basket. Find a boo-boo sex doll.
That was the news. Do you have an outro
Oh,
for
yeah.
the news?
thank God there's always crazy animals in the news. Where would we be without a deer or a moose or something going down and somebody going, we should kill it, and someone else going, no. And then finally, when the seasons change and they go back in the mountains, we forget about it.
But so in the deer situation, it's like if there was this deer, it's like, oh, we have a 500-pound deer with skulls decorating its antlers.
Yeah, that'd be different.
It's lost its fear of humans, and somebody's like, no.
Not for nothing, but a short 100 years ago, a deer stumbling upon where you live would be a godsend. That means you wouldn't have to go out hunting.
Yeah, and 100 years ago, a bear massacred an entire Japanese village.
I was gonna say, like, the Japanese brown bear incident is a nightmarish massacre. Meanwhile, the American equivalent is everybody losing their snacks.
Yes, the the Twinkie crisis of 2022.
Yep.
It's all
God,
matter.
the supply line's down. We'll never recover.
It's a matter of perspective. Let's say this is the Dust Bowl and a deer jumps through your front window. You go, thank God, dinner for a couple of weeks. Now, one wanders onto a school and everybody shits themselves inside out. It's the scariest thing that's ever happened. And then Hank the Tank is your modern day Yogi Bear. That's why he's so big. He ate Boo Boo. That's what happened.
Yeah, he also ate the park ranger.
And the ranger. And his girlfriend.
Uh-oh.
And those two other shifty bears.
I can't remember the ranger's name.
Ranger Danger.
Yes, it was
Wasn't
Ranger
it
Danger.
Tom or something? Wasn't it like a... Kayla, if you're listening to this,
type it in the comments below.
Help.
Help.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I guess that's the news. So why don't we start wrapping it up with a round of staff recommendations? You know what I'm going to do, Adam, because since you're back on the show, I got to go to you, and you're going to go, I got nothing, but here we go. What's happening?
Well, give me a minute. I'm not expecting it this time.
Let's take a pee break. Let's take a recommendation.
Andy, you got anything?
Elden Ring came out today.
Elden Ring.
And if you like Dark Souls games, it's by the Dark Souls people. It's open world. It's pretty much a Dark Souls game in an open world, so it's fun.
All right, so yeah, that's a very that still hasn't grabbed me, but I keep making attempts at that brass string, but it keeps bucking me because they're very hard.
They are.
Okay, I've got one now.
Give it to me.
Mercy's just been playing a game she got recently called Webbed.
Okay,
I don't know if
Spider-Man.
you've seen this one? Yeah, it's you basically play a female jumping spider whose boyfriend was taken away by a bird, and so you're trying to get your boyfriend back. But it's a really fun little game where you have to make webs and mess with this physics engine that they have by moving objects with the webs or climbing places by building all this stuff. It's really well done for being, I think, a one developer sort of thing.
Little indie physics puzzle. That's all right. Okay. Crap. Oh yeah, I was gonna recommend the Last Dinosaur. Maybe my latest favorite movie. Japanese suitmation, lots of hilarious hijinks. The lead character is super ugly. It's
a selling point.
It's so bad it's good again, and you'll know what I mean when you watch it. I can't do it justice, but the Last Dinosaur, made for theaters, lost its budget, ended up on TV.
Oh no.
Krista, you want to recommend something?
Yeah, if you like wine,
I love wine.
I don't drink wine.
I got 19 Crimes Cali Red Blend wine. It's got Snoop Dogg on the front of it, and the cork. The cork also has Snoop Dogg, and it's actually really good.
I was in the market for a rosé, and I saw Snoop Dogg's face and said, "Okay."
Yep.
Wow, it was
It's
a
good.
poem.
Yeah,
Looking for a rosé? Said okay.
Okay. There was no Martha Stewart one though. So
That'd be
just
pretty
Snoop
wild.
Dogg. Yeah.
They age it
she
behind
only
bars.
did the one crime though.
Yeah.
One big crime. That's her brand.
Come get my one big crime wine in a box.
Yeah. See, Snoop Dogg's is 19 crimes and it's red. Hers is white collar crime, so it's one big white crime.
Yeah.
Very dry. Very
Gross.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to get in contact with us or whatever, with the yada yada yada, the email and blah blah blah. I guess that's it.
Email in China?
The email is in China. You know, the old, I haven't checked into the old domain, but I wonder if the Chinese porn site still has it.
Maybe they relinquished it finally.
Some things the world will never know. Do they still have my site? Is there Tootsie Center of a Tootsie Pop? Is there even? What the hell?
Fistful
drop something.
of pod.
Oh, we're doing on-the-fly research.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, it's another one of our favorite bits. Randy,
there's
Google
not even
something.
porn there.
No! Man, now my legacy isn't even filthy. Oh, well. All right, guys, so thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of FFOP Radio. So until then, I'm Dave.
I'm Krista.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Adam.
Saying, you know, I don't know how to end this show ever. Bye.
Bye.
For the try to
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.